Welcome to Sports, Wheels, and Reels with Jeff Miller and Austin Horton. One show, two guys, three topics, unlimited possibilities. Presented by Mark Miller Subaru. Engage with us on social media or email us at podcast@mmsubaru.com. And now, welcome your hosts, Jeff Miller and Austin Horton.
Episode 25, a quarter of the way to the end of the podcast.
We're just going to 100. It's going to be a blowout, though. It's going to be good stuff.
Right. He's Jeff. I'm Austin. Welcome to Sports, Wheels, and Reels. Coming up in today's episode, some stuff has happened with the Utah Jazz. Minor things.
A couple little things.
Some uniform tweaks. Maybe we'll get to that. And personnel changes of sorts. Yeah. College football is roaring into week 2. We'll talk about that. Subaru up and up and up in the right on the right side of the ledger, and we did a day of caring yesterday. We'll get some info on that, and then in Reels, I watched a movie last night that I had very low expectations for.
Yeah.
Tell you the review on that, and then Jeff's wife has a thought on a movie that's also out right now.
I didn't see it. I walked away.
Deanna will give us a review.
Okay.
That's all up next on Sports, Wheels, and Reels.
My name is Bobby Staples. I love dirt roads, saving our public lands, and my Subaru is off-road ready. The Subaru Outback Wilderness is built for people like me. From the factory, they were built rugged with the 9.5 inches of ground clearance. I know that I can get anywhere that I need to without hesitation. What I love about Mark Miller Subaru is the moment I walk in, I feel like I'm a part of the family. Subaru is a brand I trust, and Mark Miller Subaru is the local Utah retailer that I love.
Okay, it's time. The Utah Jazz are
I've had this
missing.
picture for a while.
We have.
So here's the final version.
That logo's got changed too.
That logo
that's
is
old.
old, isn't it? We have a new logo.
Yeah.
We'll fix that.
It's got to be bright yellow.
Into the new Utah Jazz.
Yeah,
Because
it's
it's complete. Well, it's not quite complete. It's getting
No.
there. All right, so they're gone. Both of
Wah,
them. We got 2 X's. We knew it was happening.
So now we knock these guys over. Yeah. Donovan's actually in kind of Cleveland colors here.
Yeah, a little bit. Because we don't have those colors anymore.
Nope.
Okay, so they're gone. New players. What do you think?
Colin Sexton.
What do you think of the 3 of them?
Laurie Markkinen, I thought should have been the #1 overall pick the year he was drafted.
He's a good player.
I think
He's
he got
6-year guy. He's going to be our veteran.
Yeah, he's going to be
He's
the
gonna be our
elder
veteran.
statesman. If Bogdanovich, Conley, and Clarkson, thank you, are gone, and then Ochai Agbaji, I don't know.
But Big 12 Player of the Year last year. Good player, 6'5".
Udoka Azubuike was Big 12 Player of the Year once.
Yeah, but he's a swing man. He's not just a tall guy with promise. This guy can shoot.
I've seen equal number of highlight, low light videos of how do you say his name? Agbaji,
I think.
Agbaji. But Colin Sexton is the grab there, and they signed him to an extension.
A reasonably priced extension.
Is it
4
4
years,
years?
$72 million.
So 18 a mil.
So
18 a
half
year.
price. He's a half price Donovan.
That's right.
And what's crazy is
with longer, taller body.
And 2 years ago they put the same numbers up.
You're kidding me.
They put the exact same numbers up 2 years ago. 24, 4, and 4.
4 and 4. Wow.
And then he shoots 40% from 3. Shot 48% from the field. I don't know on defense. He's gotten better every year defensively, is what I've seen. And he was also on really bad Cleveland defensive teams. So it's going to be interesting to see what he becomes on a team that's going to be pretty athletic and good defensively. Whether we can score a lot of points is going to be. But you got Vanderbilt, Kessler. We got some really good defensive-minded guys. You never know what the team's going to look like.
Yep, for sure. We lost video there for a moment, so sorry if you're watching on YouTube or wherever. But if you're listening, you didn't know anything.
You didn't miss anything. That was just awkward.
And if you are watching, I apologize that I don't look better. So, but this is me.
This is him. We don't apologize.
To steal a
for
quote
that.
from a movie.
Just be there. But I don't know. I like all the young guys. I like where we're going with it.
You were telling me about Walker Kessler.
Yeah, I met Walker Kessler the other day. Really nice guy. I think he's got a good head on his shoulder. I think he's going to be a good player. I think
he could start.
One exciting part is that he might start. He might be thrown in right at the get-go and be our starting center.
So let me ask you this then. Donovan Mitchell, and we sent this out on Twitter for on SWR podcast. The SWR podcast.
Yep.
Let's hear your thoughts on the Spider Mitchell. I'd like that we tagged him, by the way. The Spider D Mitchell trade, so we can add it to the show. Trevor said timing is everything. Right time to make the move.
I think, yeah. I mean, you had to. There wasn't a choice. It was pretty well known that Donovan wanted out. He wasn't staying after 3 years. You could sit and wait and see if you could build around him for 3 years, be a middling first round, second round playoff team, maybe in a stacked West, or you can trade him, get a bunch of young players back, and maybe you hit on a couple of these young guys, and maybe you're back in the playoffs in 2 years.
Yeah, I think
3
that's.
years? I
think we're looking at 6 or 7, but yeah.
I mean, I was making
like
a comment
you mentioned,
before,
a
like,
West.
right? I mean, say Colin Sexton comes back and plays like he did 2 years ago with a team like this. Sexton could come out and put up 25, 5, and 5 again, right? Marketing comes out, becomes a 20-point scorer. I mean, I don't think these guys make the playoffs by any means, but I think they're a 30, 35-win team. And if Colin Sexton comes out in the first 2 months and goes up with 27, 5, and 5, All-Star game in Salt Lake City, he might be an All-Star.
So, and we may have lost video again, but bear with us. The owner, Ryan Smith, he came out and said essentially it wasn't working. It was time. We had to make this move. It had to be done. Yeah. And we've been talking about this for years, how Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, really good players, not good chemistry. And chemistry is what wins championships.
You have to have the talent.
You have to at least respect each other. And one of them, Donovan, does not respect Rudy in the way that he deserved to be respected. And Rudy went public a lot with his grief about Donovan.
Totally. It had to happen. They had to move forward, and I think this is the best possible way they could move forward. They have a ton of draft picks, a ton of really good young players.
Yeah.
And they can build something that's going to be pretty fun.
Ben Coombs says starting over is kind of like a relief, as bad as last season was. As a creative person, I look forward to being inspired by the new team.
I like that.
Following along, Jazz's roster didn't have a coherent timeline and needed to be reset. Mitchell's contract with 3 years left didn't give the Jazz enough runway to rebuild well around him, so moving him makes sense. It sounds like he wants a bigger market and a winning situation, which may not be easy to get. Cleveland isn't exactly a bastion of culture and natural beauty. It's not. Do you buy into Rick Bucher's report that the Jazz traded him to Cleveland to spite him? No, of course not.
It's a better situation for Donovan.
Biggest piece of nonsense I've ever heard.
He's going to team. I mean, they're a contender. I mean, they're an Eastern Conference Championship contender.
New York blew it.
And
is in spin mode.
New York is in complete spin mode. They've got the same agents. They dish that stuff to Wojnarowski, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Right? But, I mean, it's dumb. I mean, the Jazz, they tried to lowball the Jazz. The Jazz called their bluff and went to the next team. You don't mess with Danny Ainge. You kidding me?
Bill said, I think it was time. Great of a player as he is, I felt his overall performance suffered after his second concussion. I think 2 concussions for a player needs to be discussed.
That's a weird one.
Billy,
went the concussion.
You went NFL conspiracy on me there. And Jordan just simply says it was time.
I mean, so the next thing is that they've got 17 players under contract. So at least 2 players are going, whether they're waived or gotten rid of or whatever. So there's your 3 veterans still on the team.
Is this a real world?
That's a nice album. You said that before. That is a really nice album cover.
It looks like Queen.
It looks very nice.
Conley.
I think Conley and Bogey are gone for sure.
Yeah.
If they can find the right offer. They can find the right deal.
I think so. I think in terms of if I'm other teams.
You want Clarkson.
I want Bogey, then Clarkson, then Conley. And the only way I think Conley works is if this rumor about the Jazz trading for Russell Westbrook and then buying him out is true.
So if you're the Lakers and you can get Conley and Bogey for Westbrook, does that make him a championship contender?
Well, I don't know if the money then works. I don't know what's on Bogey. Bogey's got 1 year left, maybe?
Bogey's got I got it here.
Because Westbrook makes more money than...
But Westbrook makes like $45 million, right?
Yes, and Conley's making $30 million. If I'm not mistaken.
No, Conley's 20-something.
29 million.
29,999.
But
no, Conley this year is 22.6.
Oh, what was? Oh, that's right.
Bogey's 19.5. So them together is 40. $3 million.
Okay, so it matches.
So it matches pretty good. So, but the question is, do Conley and Bogey make the Lakers a championship team?
I think Conley can service a LeBron James. I don't think Bogey. I think he becomes redundant.
Are you kidding me? Bogey, with LeBron driving to the hole, he sits on that 3-point line and just waits. And the ball gets thrown to him, and he gets 12.
I don't think the ball gets thrown to him.
He gets 12 3 attempts a game.
I don't think he gets the ball.
Yeah.
I think he just sits.
But that's the trade that's out there. The
We'll
Jazz
see.
aren't going to do it unless they get both of those draft picks. I don't think the Lakers are willing to give them both up.
Yep. We'll see.
I think that's your biggest issue there. But I mean, they got to get rid of a couple people. Beasley. You haven't heard a lot about Beasley coming to Salt Lake, so you got to imagine he's probably on that block out there too.
He did his intro press and said he wanted to be here, but that's not up to him. It's up to the Jazz.
Right. I mean, I don't think Vanderbilt's young enough that they're not getting rid of Vanderbilt. He's staying. Rudy Gay, I can't imagine is on the roster next year.
He's been tweeting. Rudy Gay has been tweeting about little hints that he's still under contract.
Yeah,
still on the roster.
I can't imagine he's still here come the end of it. I mean, then you look at the rest of them, like the new guy from Italy's obviously staying. Kessler's staying.
What's the guy from Italy's name?
Fontecchio.
Fontecchio. Sounds delicious.
Simone, he's 27. He's big. He's like 6'10", shooter.
Fontecchio. David Luck, that's how I want to hear you say it.
He's a 6'10",
Bowler.
6'10" small forward.
Fontecchio for 3. All right.
But they have him for 2 years, $6 million. I mean, the interesting thing is you look at the salary situation. They've got the Jazz are actually over the cap still right now.
Well,
with this team, I'm
Conley's
guarantee you.
22.
I will guarantee you by the time the draft day that they will not be paying luxury tax for this team. They will do whatever it takes to not pay luxury tax.
Camp opens next week or the week after. I can't remember.
Yeah, and once you pull Conley off next year, they've got 12. They'll have 12 players at 100 million, so they'll be 30 million under the cap.
That'll help
next year too.
All right, so it's been kind of every 3 weeks a move has been made here.
Yeah.
And it's been on a Friday usually.
So you think another one's happening today?
Today or next week. It's today or
Before
next Friday.
week, you're going to see one of them. Who's going first?
I think you'll see Conley moved in a salary dump.
Where they give up a draft pick to do it.
Yeah.
Derek Favors style.
And I think the other if Russell Westbrook gets traded to the Jazz, he's not playing for the Jazz. He'll win too many games.
Oh, totally.
They're not wanting to win games.
Do you know what the interesting thing now about the Favors trade? The Favors trade to Oklahoma City was protected to the point where in 3 years from now, when the protection goes away, the pick just reverts back.
Oh, really?
So they're not ever going to get that pick because it's top 10 protected for the next 2 years or top 15 protected for the next 2 years or something like that. So I don't think they ever get that pick for Favors.
Well, then trade it.
So
That's get rid of it. All right, that's
football.
it for Jazz. The Utes put on an amazing
do you know
show.
how hard it was for me to actually put a BYU logo on the screen? But I did it.
Well, you've worn a BYU hat before.
I know, but
We
that
have
was
video evidence of that.
Bad bet.
That was your choice because of your bad choices.
This is my bad. I made bad choices.
The Utes lose at the goal line on an interception to Florida. Florida's quarterback Anthony Richardson was special.
He's good.
He's either really good or the Utes defense is really bad. And I think he's really good.
I think the Utes. If you look at ESPN stuff, the Utes are still favored in every one of their games. The Utes are.
I think the playoffs is out, but
I don't think so.
I do.
If they won the table,
because USC is undefeated after week 1, and everyone's excited about USC being back with Lincoln Riley and Cameron. Blah, blah, blah,
they
blah,
also played Rice.
Nah, that's USC.
I think Rice has won 5 games in the last 3 years. Rice is very bad at football.
But the
I think
Utes,
SUU would give them a pretty good run.
I think the Utes are. I think that was one of those weird week 1s that if they played Florida again in 3 weeks, 4 weeks from now, they'd beat them by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. And I mean, they gave up. They had 2 drives inside the 10 that they didn't score a touchdown. They didn't score it all on.
Well, that Cam Rising touchdown that was ruled down at the half-yard line. Whatever, that was stupid.
It was tough. I don't think you're right on that. I think if Utah wins the Pac-12, say they lose 1 game, and I think they can't. I don't think their margin for error is gone. I think they've got to win out, but I think they still have a chance to be in the top 4.
And then BYU put a hurt on South Florida.
Yeah. They look pretty good.
Was that
I gotta
BYU's
say.
first ever win in the state of Florida? I think it may have been.
many times
Did
they
they
ever
not win
played
there
there?
last year? I thought they lost last year.
They lost last year.
But I know last year they were winless in the
Same
state
idea
of
with them.
Florida.
You're going to find out
Before last year.
who they are this week. They play Baylor at home.
8 o'clock
friendly
under the
environment.
lights in Provo.
Baylor's a good team.
Defending Big 12 title, Big 12 champ there, Baylor. And a lot of people say the best offensive line in the country is Baylor.
Well, they're all like 4th and 5th year seniors.
But BYU's ranked the 6th best offensive line in the country right now. So it'll be fun to see what happens. Utah's got
I love
Utah.
rankings after the first week when you
Oh,
played
so
nobody.
stupid.
Like, it's the dumbest thing in the world.
Yeah. But week 2, and Utah State played
Utah State
and
plays
won
Weber.
against UConn and
They
then
play
lost
Weber
at
State.
Alabama.
I think they play Weber State this
They
week.
got Weber. And no one died at Alabama, so that's a victory for
Which
Utah
is surprising.
State.
Like, I mean, that's a good thing. No injuries, no major injuries.
Didn't score and no one died. That's a win.
That was their goal.
And
And
you
they
got
made a couple $1 million too, probably.
1.9 million, I
Yeah,
think.
great deal. Good work.
So,
Good trip to the South.
college football. Now, are you doing an NFL fantasy this year?
I am.
Are you really?
I had Matthew Stafford as my quarterback. It did not go very well the first day.
Whoops.
Got my 8 points at a quarterback position in week 1.
That dude looked heavy.
Yeah,
and that's coming from
our
me.
Southtown sales floor has a fantasy football league that's gone for the last decade that we've been
Oh, I didn't know.
a 2 or 3 time champion.
I'm Midtown enemy.
I
They
feel like
don't
my
invite
auto
me.
drafted really well. So we're gonna see how it goes.
I can't do fantasy sports because it consumes my whole life. I just can't.
My auto draft was good. I think we're gonna be a contender this year.
Coming up next in Wheels, we've got a new website. Nate, shout out.
Hey.
Subaru sales are up and up and up, and we had a day of caring. We'll get to that, and then Reels coming up next. Stay tuned.
My name is Cindy Savage, and my Subaru is my Swiss Army knife.
My Subaru fits my lifestyle because I am all over the place. I'm working a lot, driving in and out of the city. I love to travel, take road trips on the weekends, love going to concerts. I love getting my car serviced at Mark Miller Subaru. They're really quick and friendly, and it's super easy. Subaru is a brand I trust, and Mark Miller Subaru is a local Utah retailer that I love.
Jeff, let's dive in on Wheels.com.
Wheels. Mark Miller Subaru. .com. I didn't have a time to write the .com.
No, just scribble.
.com.
Yeah. We'll superimpose that
that?
over that. Thank you. New website.
Yeah, we moved to a new website provider. A lot easier to use.
It's really cool.
You can buy a car almost completely online now.
You go to, oh, that's for sure. Absolutely. In fact,
Not a
after,
new car because we don't really have any, but
Yeah.
a used car you can.
after the show, I've got someone who signed up. They've got their trade. They've got their payments. They've got they signed up for a time for a test drive,
All in there.
and they're waiting for me. So we got to get this show going.
Let's
Yeah.
keep moving. Get you
so
back to work.
but right there on the front page, the big old search field, if you're looking for a red sedan, you type in red sedan, shows you all the red sedans. If you're looking for a 1996 Sunfire, we won't have one, but you can try to look for one.
Did you know that Sunfire you can actually fit a 6-pack in the glove box
That's good.
of soda?
Of Shasta, of Shasta Mountain Lightning.
when it first came out the auto show, that was one of like the features they like pointed out on that car. We were Pontiac dealers back in the day. I know these things.
Yeah. All right.
And I
Actually,
just happened to be 16 in 1996.
yeah.
I never
yeah.
actually did drive a Sunfire for a few weeks.
So check out our new website and let us know. In fact, we are looking for comments. So if you're bored at work and want to waste some time, check out our website and send us some comments. We'd love to hear from you. All right. Subaru sales are up, gaining momentum thanks to one hot model. No, not a supermodel. Josh Goldsmith. The Subaru Crosstrek. Just throw Josh under the bus.
You're definitely
That
did.
was a dad joke.
Yeah.
What is it? The Crosstrek. The Crosstrek is everyone's favorite hot model right now.
And interesting, it's because of the Forester.
Bye-bye, Kate. Up
So
there.
what happened is that they make the Foresters and the Crosstreks in the same factory.
Yes.
And they can't make Foresters, so they're making more Crosstreks.
Now, is it true
So that's why there's more Crosstreks.
that this is a rumor that's been floating around the sales force, that Subaru literally flipped a coin between Forester and Crosstrek who got more of the microchips, and Crosstrek won the coin flip. Have you heard that?
No, that's not true.
Oh, well, it sounded fun.
They won't
I'm
tell
going
us.
with
They
it.
won't tell us which component it is, but there's certain components that are specific to the Forester, not on the Crosstrek, that they can't get suppliers on.
What is the crystal for Jedis? What is that? The what is it?
Kyber.
The Kyber crystal.
Yeah, there's something on Foresters that they can't get a certain number. So basically,
He knows six-pack answers.
out of that plant, they can make like 30,000 cars a month. And so if they can only make 8,000 Foresters, now they're making 17,000 Crosstreks, where it's usually an even split.
But the Crosstrek is a staple for a reason.
We're loving
It's
it.
a great marriage between gas mileage and versatility.
Forester buyers are kind of upset, but most of them are switching to Crosstreks and Outbacks because of it. So
The news is out. Little Cottonwood Canyon.
gondola.
Oh, you got a picture of a gondola in
I
there.
do. That's the
Nice.
rendering. That's an actual up the Cottonwood Canyon.
I'm
full service on my PowerPoint.
Didn't have .com a moment ago.
It's kind of blurry. It's a bad picture.
It is. It looks like someone was cross-eyed when they took that picture. Why? Although, why would that change the camera? I don't know. I'm very happy it's a gondola. I think that was the right move.
You think it's a gondola?
I think it looks cool. I think it moves more people. It's got the parking garage at the bottom that
Do you know
it's
what I
going to plan on.
What I should have done for
on?
my pictures, I should have done Bagley's cartoon.
I didn't see it.
It's a picture of a bunch of guys.
Sure, he
in it.
hates it.
There are a bunch of people in a UTA bus saying, "This would be so cool if it's a gondola," and then just shows the bus as a gondola.
It's actually really funny. It's actually really funny. But
Like,
there's
basically
no
the same thing. You're
there's
just
no
up there.
emissions with a gondola. I think it's the right
Neither would be with
move.
electric buses.
Was that?
Neither would there be with electric buses.
Yeah. How soon are we going to be getting electric cars? Let alone how are we going to make
That's a good
electric
plan.
buses? That's
I
a
don't think this
10-year
is-
plan.
you
This
say
is
it's
a
done-
2-year
You
plan.
say this is a done deal. This isn't a done deal.
It's done, man.
It's not a done deal.
It's as done as the Inland Port Authority is dirty.
Which is also very true.
All right, and finally, our Love Promise Spotlight this week did a day of caring yesterday at
Look, we
Cottonwood
got
High.
Nate up there.
Nate Lundquist. The Cottonwood Colts. We did a lot of painting, did a lot of sanding, did a lot of cleanup. We sorted props and dresses and costumes in the drama department.
It's good though.
We're
Good
just
job,
kind of
good
bragging about us.
About helping. Good
Yeah.
job, Mark Moshuber. Thanks for everybody, all of our employees that helped out, and United Way for helping get it all set up.
For sure. That's the promise of a partner is the United Way.
Yep.
And if you're looking for something to do, volunteer, always check out the United Way of Utah. They'd love to have you.
Yep.
Coming up next, I won't tell a lie. This movie surprised me.
And I'll tell you another one that surprised us as well.
And maybe some surprises coming up next.
My name's Jamie Estry, and my Subaru is Freedom. I've had so many animals over the years. One of the things that I love about Mark Miller Subaru is they're the largest animal welfare supporter in the Salt Lake Valley. You may not even realize it, but they're probably supporting a nonprofit that you love in the community. And my wife and I, our daughter Harper, and our dogs, we're just so happy that we picked Mark Miller Subaru. Subaru is a brand that I trust, and Mark Miller Subaru is the local retailer that I love.
Pinocchio!
That's my cue.
That's cute. Full
Got it.
service.
Got it. Pinocchio.
Tom Hanks, really, really terrible at Italian accents. Really
You
bad.
found something he's bad at?
He can say Pinocchio, and he sells it real Pinocchio, and then
That's
everything
it?
else in the movie
That's
is
all I
just
got.
normal talking. And then when he says Pinocchio again, it's Pinocchio or Figaro. Anyway,
Seems kind of weird role for him.
it was.
Seems a little awkward.
He was really
it
good
good?
at it, though, other than the accent problem. I thought this movie was going to be horrible. I didn't want to watch it. I had no interest in it. I didn't like the original cartoon. It gave me terrible nightmares as a kid and an adult. It's an acid trip that no one ever needs to go over again. Kids turning into donkeys and being swooped up off the street.
Wow.
and being kept in cages.
I feel like you had a tough childhood with this. Like, this is harsh.
Bro, what really got me was the
Yeah,
fairy tale theater with Paul Rubens playing Pinocchio.
The good news is we have an employee assistance line that you can call.
I'll be calling that fairy
some
tale
mental
theater
help.
stuff. That was terrible.
There's also another Pinocchio coming out. We found out while we were doing the
There's a
research on this.
Netflix version.
There's a Netflix one coming out in December.
But this was actually really, really funny.
So you
This
liked
was
it?
a
It was
really
good?
funny script.
So you recommend it?
I would recommend. It's on Disney Plus.
What kind of grade we giving it?
C plus B minus. Yeah,
High
solid.
for Austin.
That's as high as it gets.
No, you gave Top Gun an A.
Yeah, I did. Top Gun.
You
Top
got
Gun.
those rare A's.
You know who could not be in Top Gun with the way he does accents is Tom Hanks. Oof, terrible. All right, Me Time.
So Me Time. So
Number 1 on Netflix. Everyone's watching this.
So my wife wasn't feeling well this weekend, so she's in bed watching this movie. I walk in, I'm like, "What are you watching?" She's like, "The worst movie ever." But I have to keep watching it because I'm committed.
Kevin Hart.
She said it was horrible. I didn't sit down and watch it or anything, so I can't say myself. But she said it was pretty bad.
Kevin Hart is really good at making a lot of movies badly.
Yeah.
And making a ton of money.
Apparently, it's not good.
And Mark Wahlberg is great at finding someone's coattails to ride, no matter what he does. If it's the Funky Bunch, his brother in their hamburger business, or Kevin Hart.
Do you think he's on his brother's hamburger business or his hamburger business is using?
His brother was in New Kids on the Block. He's riding that coattail.
I'm pretty sure he's the.
His
most
brother's married
Wahlberg.
to. His brother's married to McCarthy, Jenny McCarthy.
Okay, but I'm still going to tell you that
Their kids aren't vaccinated.
Yeah, they're definitely vaccinated. Mark Wahlberg's without question the most successful Wahlberg.
So,
more than Donnie.
agree to disagree.
For sure, more than
Oh,
Donnie.
is that his name, Donnie?
Donnie was the one who
I
was
would
in
never have guessed that.
Band
New
of
Kids?
Brothers.
Oh, he was in Band of Brothers.
Yeah, right.
So Me Time, no good, says Deanna Miller.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm not even going to watch it, so.
And then
This is
Welcome
an
to
amazing
Wrexham.
show. I've been watching this. The new episodes came out last night. It's called Welcome to Wrexham.
It's like a real life
With-
version of Ted Lasso.
Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, the guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And
Two guys I love
Mystic
to
Quest,
pieces.
Mystic something?
I never saw it.
That was the
Mystic Pizza.
Yeah, or something.
Wasn't that?
No, I think it's Mystic Quest. But anyway, so this is a documentary of these.
Is it just one or is there a series?
It's a series.
Okay.
They release 2 episodes every Thursday.
Okay.
So they've gone through 6 episodes now, and it's about these guys literally went to England to Wales and bought a 6th tier soccer team that's in this town that's been just beat up and everything like this, and it's just they're trying to get back up to respectable soccer.
They bought the Detroit Lions.
No, it would be the equivalent of buying the Ogden Raptors.
Okay.
And trying to get them into single A. It's that's the equivalent of what this is.
Gotcha.
But it's soccer, so it's crazy. It's a bunch of crazy people. It's their lives. And so this city, and it was actually part of the team is owned by a trust of supporters in the city. So the trust had to vote to allow them to be the majority owner.
Do either of them know anything about soccer?
I don't think Ryan Reynolds knew one thing about soccer going into this thing. Either of them. Now they're both soccer fans and they're following, but they're just
And they're
This
not
guy-
making it a joke, right? Because
The,
these are both very funny
Rob
men.
is a huge Philadelphia Eagles fan, so that's kind of the idea of it. It's he was fandom
So
is
he's the
his
real
life.
life
He's a
Ted
real
Lasso.
deal thing, and so they're literally going
Huh.
in and they bought
Are they
this team.
coaching?
No, they're just the owners.
Oh, okay.
Everything they're doing is literally via Zoom. They sent over a guy to be their manager, and
They're not even there?
I think they've been there. I don't know. They've never actually shown them there.
If
don't know
I
if
was
they've
a
actually
Wrexham
ever been
fan,
there.
I would actually hate this.
They love it because they're
That-
putting money into it. They're the stadium, literally part
Are
of the
they winning?
stadium. Part of the stadium in this thing for the last decade has literally they just let one of the stands grow over in grass.
That's kind of cool, actually. It's condemned.
These have had horrible owners and it's
There's quicksand in Portal F.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're these are guys their average pay is $40,000. I mean, you guys are making no money
I just noticed they put W's in front of Ryan and Rob.
to make it Welsh.
Yeah. Wrexham.
But it's really funny. And I mean, it's kind of like a feel-good story of them trying to, they have to win their league to get promoted.
And they're not gonna.
So
Unless
the idea
the
of it
fix
is
is in.
obviously it's filmed early, right? So
So we already know the results.
So right now, this is what they're showing right now is fall of last year.
Oh, okay. So
going
we
into
know.
spring of this year. So you
Okay.
can actually go online and look and see what they've actually done.
Spoiler alert: they didn't make it.
But
I'm
and then
guessing.
but there's going to be my assumption is it's going to continue on and on and on until they do it.
And it's good. You've watched
It's
it?
it's an entertaining show.
Okay.
It's a really cool story, and I would give it like 2 thumbs up.
I will watch anything,
Watch
and
it.
I mean literally
It's on
anything.
Hulu. You can watch it on Hulu every Thursday. It comes up, so you can watch the first 6 episodes now. But I would absolutely recommend it.
Anything Ryan Reynolds is in.
Ryan
I'm
Reynolds
there.
is so funny.
I'm there for it. I just watched a really terrible Michael Bay movie starring Ryan Reynolds called Six Underground. Horrible movie.
Oh, I've seen that.
Terrible
It's
movie.
very bad.
But Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds is good.
I'll watch anything he's in.
He's good in it.
Yeah. All right, that's it for episode 25. Will we have an episode 26, or will the Jazz make a trade? Which goes first?
You think they're gonna make a trade before next Friday? So
I do.
should we bet?
No.
Fine.
I'm not betting. Never betting anymore ever again.
Gotta have a cool hat I could put you
I
in.
lost our bet like by a point. It was miserable. It was tragic.
I'll put you in a Dodgers hat.
Oh,
Yeah. See.
he's
the
Jeff.
best team in baseball.
I'm Austin. For the supermodel loving Josh Goldsmith, the website master Nate Lundquist, and our producer extraordinaire, soon to be new Subaru owner Ashley Bales. I'm Austin. He's Jeff. Be back next week. Till then, Utah by 5.
Probably more like 45 this week, but trust me.